You are about to hear It's Up to You from the author of The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. Narrated by Jason Mccoy. Copyright 2018 BN Publishing. Online at bnpublishing.com. Forward. That you experience in your everyday life is largely a matter of your own choice, whether or not you realize it. Sometimes that choice is specifically and consciously made. Other times the choice is automatic, being a culmination of habitual patterns of thought and emotion. However, whatever your lot may be, there is always the potential for a greater experience of all those things that make living more worthwhile. The process of achieving an ever greater abundance of the good things of life lies not so much in outward efforts, as in an inner process of thought. It is in your own mind that you create and establish the causes, the patterns of your daily experience. You may not fully agree with this, but it is nonetheless true, and you will prove it to be so as you come to learn to redirect your thoughts so that they are more affirmative than negative. As you do this, every aspect of your experience will change for the better. In the pages of this book, you will find many ideas which will enable you to upgrade your thinking, permit you to discover the pathway to more abundant living, and discover a new joy and vitality in just being alive. The ideas, the ways, and means are presented to you. What you do with them, how you use them, and what they will mean to you is a very personal matter. If you honestly and sincerely desire to make your life better, the way is open to you. What you do about it is up to you. Willis Kinnear. Chapter 1. Escape to Life. It appears that every individual is afraid of something. Maybe it is only a fear of having people believe we have a fear. Maybe it is only a subjective holdover tendency from our religious forebears who devoutly believe that God must be feared. Maybe it is only the fear of what people will think about us, what we have, what we do, or how we look. There are various sources from which people derive fear, and there are certain fundamental fears which practically all people have. Let us consider these fears, try to analyze them, and see what is behind them, where they come from, and whether or not we shall be able to do anything about getting rid of them. The fear of death is the Goliath which slays the multitudes. The reason this is such a great fear is not only because we cannot bear the thought of leaving behind the people we love, but because it involves an uncertainty of the future. And this fear of death involves all uncertainty and fear of lack. Lack of time, lack of friends, lack of health, and lack of economic security. That is one of the greatest fears in the world today. Where shall we go when we die? This is certainly one of the big questions in our mind. If today is the logical continuance of yesterday, then all the tomorrows that stretch down the vistas of eternity will be a continuity of experience and remembrance. We shall keep on keeping on. We shall continue in our own individual stream of consciousness, but forever and ever expanding. Not less, but ever more. More and still more. Regardless of all we believe can be accomplished by man because of his oneness with God, I do not believe that any man can be happy unless he believes in the continuity of his own existence. I have come to believe that it is impossible for a man to be contented in this life unless he feels sure of the next one. I believe that the greatest single curative power known to the mind of man is a spiritual thought in the subjective mind. By spiritual thought, I mean here an absolute inner conviction that one may trust in the integrity of the universe, and that sooner or later all things will be made right. Without that, we have materialism, and a philosophy of materialism never yet created a great art, a great religion, a great philosopher, or a great anything.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?